I think it starts with practice. Coach does a great job making us go through the basics, shell, drill, getting in your stance, making sure you're rotating, making sure you got the proper help. And he's always preaching active hands, being in the passing lanes and trying to create easy baskets. So I would say that's the key. And then we got a lot of athletic guys that can get out and run.
So, CJ, this is Isaiah. I'm asking you two questions. The first question I'm going to ask you about is your CJ Heritage 91 wine that I know you are promoting, and not only promoting it, but also owning it. Tell us how you got in the business and what you're doing for Thanksgiving. And then I want to ask you again about the defensive philosophy that you guys have adopted.
Perfect. The wine is McCullum Heritage 91. I got into wine, close to a decade ago. My wife introduced me to it, and I continued to try to learn about it. And I ended up partnering with Abelsheim, a winery in Oregon, where I began buying grapes in 2016 and started putting out wines in 2018. My wife and I have since purchased 318 acres in Carlton to start building out our own vineyard. So we'll be doing that in the process over the next few years. And I'll be releasing Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Blanc de Blanc, Rosé, and many other wines in months and years to come. In terms of defense, we know we can score offensively. I think it's important for us to kind of lock in on the other end. If we're a top 10 defensive team, historically you got a 98% chance of making the playoffs as long as your offense is top 20. And I think for us, our offense will be top 5 or 10. So we got to make sure we work on that end in order to really make a run in the playoffs this year.
CJ, Jamal here. First off, congratulations on all the success. My question for you is, with you going to New Orleans, the leadership role you've assumed, to watch you grow into this, because I remember when you were the breakout player, when you got your breakout role in the playoffs against Memphis. So to see that young guy grow into this leader, this wise vet, what are some of the lessons you learned from Dame and other vets that you've taken to New Orleans with you?
I think leadership is something that you develop into, and I think you watch and you gravitate towards great leaders as a young person, and you try to emulate some of that. And I think it starts with doing things the right way, showing up early, staying late, working hard. And I think the best leaders lead by example first, right? Like, I'm not trying to challenge people right away. I lead by example to kind of show them how I move and how I think the game should be played and how I think you should be moving off the court. And then I hold people accountable. But I think the most important part is allowing people to hold me accountable, right? Making sure I'm guarding, making sure I'm fighting over screens, making sure I'm communicating effectively, but also making sure I'm not overworking, right? Like, some people work too hard. You got to work smart sometimes to pick your spots, take care of your body.
CJ, on that leadership talk, you have a budding superstar there, in terms of Zion, who was going through some really difficult times. And he seems to be back, playing like himself, enjoying the game. What did you do and what did the team do to get him back to this place where he's feeling this good about himself and also his game?
I think first and foremost, we gave him some space to kind of reflect, kind of gather himself and get his mind and his body right. And then I just checked on him, asking him how he's doing mentally, how you feeling, understanding that the physical part will always come back eventually once you work on it and once you get healthy. But I want to make sure his mental was where it needed to be, having gone through a lot of different foot injuries, understanding that battle mentally that you go through. I want to just make sure he was solid and that I was there for him to answer any questions that he may have. And I think our team, we want him to be the best version of himself. Go out there and hoop, dunk on guys, make plays for himself and make plays for others.
And Larry Nance Jr. giving us a wave behind you. What about the Golden State Warriors? A team that, look, the last time you played them, Steph, Clay, Draymond sat that one out. Tonight, Steph, Clay, Draymond sitting this one out. When you see that before the game,
are they scared? They're scared, CJ? CJ, are they scared?
What goes through your mind? The legend plays that.
They're scared.
They rested, man. They got a long season ahead. I'll be sitting out back-to-back too when I'm 34, so I respect it. But I think for us, it's respecting your opponent. Those younger guys are getting a chance to play in larger roles. I remember what that was like, to have more minutes, more shots, more opportunity. Everybody's trying to prove themselves. They got a lot of guys that are capable. And I think a wounded animal is hard to beat, man. I'd rather play a team at full strength, to be honest with you. A wounded animal is tough. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how they're going to respond. And we got to make sure we match that energy and don't allow it to be a trap game.
CJ McCollum, most likely to win an Emmy as a future broadcaster amongst current NBA players. Thank you for spending some time with us. Have a great game.
And happy Thanksgiving and good luck on the wine.
Appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too.
All right, Steve.
A wounded animal is hard to beat. I really like what he's saying there about playing the Warriors tonight without their core 4 guys from the championship team.
Your natural tendency is to take your foot off the gas. Oh, they're missing 4 of their best players. This is an easy night for us. That's not how it works, because they're thinking, Jordan Poole and others, this is a great opportunity to show we're good. We can do anything we want out here as well. And when you get guys like that and teams like that, that's always dangerous to deal with.
I agree with Jamal. They got nothing to lose. And not only are they playing with nothing to lose, but they're playing with freedom. So,
Yes.
you know, and you as the opposing team, you're used to playing against people's tendencies. Tonight, you know, the Pelicans will be playing against Golden State, and they may not recognize some of those players' tendencies.
Well, games starting on the other end of this commercial break. Spiro Dini's, Grant Hill, and 3D are all on the call. We'll see you guys at halftime.
I dream. You're helping her study for a geography test. When a burger with steak, butter, and bacon sounds like the best, she's about to find out you can't read a map. Hey, Sonic steak, butter, bacon, cheeseburger.
Sonic. Christmas ends tonight. Violent Night is an instant holiday classic.
If you want war, my guys are the deadliest killers money can buy.
They can't be that great. I mean, I already killed 2 of them.
It's Die Hard meets Home Alone.
I can't thank you enough, Mr.
Claus. Please call me Santa.
Violent Night, rated R.
And what if I want to change my plan?
State Farm's here to help.
What if I want to change sports?
Newcomer Chris Paul is maintaining a narrow lead in these final meters. But here comes an opponent closing the gap, 1 foot in front of the other. They are battling it out. And Chris Paul edges ahead. Those are the hips of a champion.
At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs. Get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Real-time ticket upgrade? Meaning I get to meet my childhood idol? That works. I need my dog, Joey Fatone.
When your customer experience works, the world works. That's why the world works with ServiceNow.
We got a Western Conference doubleheader on center court.
How good is Steph Curry?
One of the best to ever do it. And to be the best, you have to beat the best. Zion, you up for the challenge? Who would have thought that the Jazz would be one of the top teams in the West this season? And folks, this is no fluke.
Close your eyes.
Now the Jazz face off with the Clippers on the bright stage in LA. Warriors Pelicans followed by Jazz Clippers. Next on NBA TV.
Blake Thompson got right tonight. 10 threes. Oh, no! The fadeaway 3! Good night is right! Oh, wow!
The Golden State Warriors get their first road win of the year.
We did it!
Finally, the Warriors get their first road victory of the season. Now, can they build on it? To do so, they will have to travel to the Big Easy to face Zion, who's been playing big and not making it easy for opponents. Remember this, Warriors fans? Buckle up. Warriors Pelicans next on NBA TV.
Downtown New Orleans, Louisiana, the Big Easy. There is no city quite like it in America, and tonight the defending world champs have defended and descended into town as they get set to take on Zion and the Pelicans as New Orleans welcomes its headliner back. As we welcome you to center court on NBA TV, it's presented by Google Pixel as we welcome you courtside here in New Orleans alongside the Hall of Famer Grant Hill. I'm Spiro Dini's. Dennis Scott working the sidelines for us tonight, 3D. The good news is that New Orleans star is back. The bad news is that the defending champs are far from whole. What do you have for us?
Yes, guys. A home crowd is super proud tonight, super happy tonight, It's sold out. Zion is playing. No Trey Murphy III, the sharpshooter, he's out tonight. And for Warriors fans, it's going to be a slow night. No Clay, no Steph, and no Wiggins, and no Draymond. So you'll see a lot of Jordan Poole tonight. Grant, there may be a splash party, or should I say a pool party?
It'll have to be a big pool party with all of those starters out for the Warriors tonight.
Now there is Steph, a little bit of a bummer for the fans here in town as we get you our Carmack starting lineups. And Steve Kerr and his staff having to get a little bit surgical tonight, trying to figure out what they're going to do with the lineups. This is how they will start. with DiVincenzo, who has made his return back from that hamstring injury that cost him a chunk of games early. And meantime, New Orleans, this team that was just so incredible last year, overachieved, fought their way into the postseason. We'll get into their story as they welcome Zion Williamson back here tonight. So Golden State finally got the monkey off their back, got their first road win of the season in Houston last night. Didn't get into their hotel until after midnight. How do they fare here as they play severely shorthanded? They turn it over on their first trip. This is Brandon Ingram outside to C.J. McCollum, and he misses wildly. Second time that these two teams are facing off here in New Orleans, and it's almost deja vu, almost the exact same scenario when they met here on November the 4th. This Poole inside gets the leader to drop and contact. And boy, Jordan Poole is going to have a monster of a night if Golden State is going to have any chance.
And Jordan Poole with a beautiful hesitation, just kind of froze Valanciunas, able to get to the rim, draw the foul. And a guy like Jordan Poole loves a challenge like this. We know he's capable of putting up big numbers. Had a fantastic season last year. Numbers a little down this year, but this is a game where his team needs him to score and score big.
Got some fun poll questions for you tonight. Our first asks, which will be the first team to score 15 points? Warriors or Pelicans? You can scan the QR code to vote. As a tough leader by Brandon Ingram to get the Pels their first points. First team to 15 points, Grant, has won in the last 4 games that Golden State has played. So that's been the magic number. Corner three-pointer won't go from Anthony Lamb. Here comes Williamson, open floor, swatted by Kuminga. And McCollum gets it back and hits the leading floater.
Well, 2 things. First of all, Zion looks healthy. And Kuminga showing his athleticism there. Beautiful confrontation at the rim. Look at the Golden State. They're coming out here early, competing on both ends of the floor.
Here's DiVincenzo working his way through a crowd. And the rebound corralled by Valanciunas. McCollum distributes. That's Herbert Jones missing badly in a corner 3, and the rebound controlled by Golden State.
And Jones had been shooting the 3 ball lately well. Going into this game, made 6 of his last 9 attempts, but showing his defense and getting out in transition where he thrives.
Jordan Poole returning the favor as he blocks Jones underneath. But Herbert Jones, this kid, Grant, we saw what he did last year. He is becoming quickly one of the elite defenders in the league.
And not afraid to take the challenge of guarding the other team's best perimeter player. And has had great success showing his length and anticipation on that block.
Ingram off the inbounds and the loose change corralled by Kevon Looney.
And you got to guard against a potential letdown when that many guys on the opposing team are out. You got to still come and play and compete and not show any life to this young, somewhat struggling reserve team for Golden State.
Jonathan Kuminga, who really fought his way into the rotation last year, became a key piece, especially for certain stretches of the year with the injuries that they had last year. But different story so far for Kuminga. Inconsistent minutes that he's gotten from Steve Kerr.
Well, this time last year, Golden State was rolling, really asserting themselves. A lot of veterans with that second unit last year that are no longer with this team. Kuminga trying to find his rhythm and timing, and obviously losing and not winning at the clip they did last year has affected his minutes and Steve Kerr's ability to play him.
By the way, one thing we should point out, we're all bummed that so many of the stars are out for Golden State, but we will be joined actually by Klay Thompson. He's going to put a headset on for us, Grant, and join us on the broadcast.
Oh, I can't wait. That'll be a blast.
So we're looking forward to that. As we play early stages in this opening quarter, Herb Jones, the inbounder, with 16 seconds to shoot. Here's McCollum around a screen, little pick and roll action. Valanciunas underneath. Zion expresses himself.
And those two right there, Spiro, have great chemistry. A little buddy ball action between the bigs.
And this is going to be an offensive foul. A little bit of a kick out with the leg. It's on Looney, his first.
And Zion attacking the rim. Beautiful pass catch and the athleticism, the explosion. Yeah, he's been off for a few games, but looking strong. And inside on the interior, that's where Zion loves to dominate.
Brandon Ingram, what a transformation, Grant. His three-point shooting last year, 32%, lowest mark of his career. And now a career best in that three-point shooting category as Golden State with another offensive foul. This time it's against Kuminga.
Kuminga was battling, trying to get position with Ingram. Initially, I thought maybe a foul on Jones as Poole was attacking the rim, but on the weak side, Kuminga called for that foul.
Here's Williamson. Boy, he's got a pep to his step. This is right at the rim. Offensive rebound, Valanciunas, and he takes a whack. Williamson pleads his case, thought he was bumped underneath. As he discusses things with Sean Corbin, foul charge to Anthony Lamb, and that'll put Valanciunas at the free throw line for the Pelicans.
And that's something with this small lineup here of Golden State, not having Draymond Green out there and the normal starters, Andrew Wiggins, keeping this Pelicans team off the offensive glass with Zion and Valanciunas out there. You know they're going to crash and give their team second chance opportunities.
So here's Valanciunas, the 30-year-old Lithuanian star in his 11th NBA season at the line. As we take a little sneak peek at the upcoming national TV schedule, TNT doubleheader tomorrow night. Big one in Philly. Nets and the Sixers as Ben Simmons expected to play for the first time in Philly since his departure. Then Lakers, Suns, and ESPN doubleheader Wednesday. Great games there. Mavericks, Celtics, Clippers, and Golden State. Check NBA.com or the NBA app to get the full schedule.
No, Spiro, do you think the fans in Philadelphia will show the brotherly
I think they're
love?
going to be just super nice and sweet.
A lot of love, guys. There's going to be a lot of love in Philly.
Well, that is going to be a fun game to watch.
You got to do it at some point, you know? So
Ben Simmons actually last night had his best game as a Brooklyn Net, 22 points.
He's going to get it going, get his rhythm. Was out for that whole year, but no Embiid, no Tyrese Maxey, no James Harden for the Sixers.
The Sixers right now are hurting as Golden State getting a little bit sloppy with it now. 3 turnovers in their last 4 trips as New Orleans gets it back. So 7-3 Pelicans lead with 7 and change left. They're your early turnover numbers. Pelicans off since Friday. Their loss here to the Celtics, snapping their 3-game winning streak. This one tonight, final game of a 6-game homestand, in which they've got 3-2 so far. Brandon Ingram, one of the elite scorers in the NBA. Nearly 23 points over his last 3 seasons.
And one of the underrated sort of stars in this league, but you see his strength, at least on that last offensive play, able to take a little bump from Looney and finish at the mid-range. And conversely, call for a defensive foul on that last possession. But Ingram's length, he really can get a shot off against anyone. As you see it right here, they love to ISO him there, forcing the switch. Take a little bit of contact, a little separation. Easy too.
Other part of Ingram's game, we mentioned the 3-point improvement, but also his playmaking ability, Grant, that we've seen grow. Last year, career high in assists. He's right at that number again this year. And you just start to think about what this nucleus could become with this trio with McCollum, Ingram, obviously Zion Williamson. You throw Herbert Jones now into the mix. Just think of what David Griffin has built here in New Orleans. It's a tantalizing prospect. Here comes Zion, backdoor, the kick. Ingram, say pocket 3.
Spiro, everybody on New Orleans touching the ball, moving it around, unselfish play leading to that 3.
Different set of circumstances for him since his Portland days, and boy, they've got everything working right now. Early stages in New Orleans, 8-point Pelicans lead on center court.
New customers get our best deals on all smartphones.
That's right.
But what if I'm already a customer?
Oh, no problem. Hey, Cam.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Yeah. Kind of our thing.
Wow, it's great.
Ew. What if I'm new to AT&T?
Camp, can...
Oh, nice.
Hey, but what about for existing customers?
Same deal.
Is he okay?
It's not complicated. With AT&T, new and existing customers get our best deals on every smartphone.
A Corona and palm trees.
A Corona and calm seas.
And a bomb breeze.
And our strong knees.
It's Andy. It's Snoop.
And we're eating Guam cheese.
Guam cheese.
Yeah, I don't know. I ran out of rhymes.
That is definitely him.
Dude, that's Jessica taking a little break with a peppermint frosty.
I gotta ask him. Hello?
Hi.
Mind if I sit? Oh.
When it's Frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new Peppermint Frosty.
We are out here supporting the Oakland A's. It's the E-Learn Play, day at the park. We're bringing 1,000 kids from summer camps around Oakland out to the ballpark today, having a great time, giving them a great experience. Me and Aisha get to throw out the first pitch and enjoy just a day of fun, giving these kids a great experience and watching some good baseball.
Introducing the SC 30-day money-back guarantee.
But our Love Your Car guarantee already comes with 30-day returns.
That's Steph sells.
I believe it.
Sure.
They said we done. Not so fast, ladies and gentlemen.
NBA TV Center Court continues from the Big Easy tonight. Zion Williamson back from his 3-game injury absence, the bruised right foot. We heard the report from 3D right at the top. Actually, the 5th game that Zion has missed this year. He had that nasty fall a couple of weeks into the season. Tailbone bruise that everyone was catching their breath over. But boy, it's good to see Zion Williamson back in the mix tonight. And he is looking spry, Grant, here at the start.
He only has 2 points, but he looks explosive. He's had some powerful moves. So definitely a great sign for the Pelicans as Zion back in the mix.
Ty Jerome is into the game for Golden State. Williamson, boy, cocking one back. Unable to put it down. The offensive rebound, however, by McCollum. Here comes Ingram, and boy, they are teeing off on this Golden State defense.
And they're attacking the paint off the bounce with McCollum and Ingram and Zion Williamson. 3 guys who like to drive and can finish against anyone.
See the run by the Pels. And you just wonder where that scoring, Grant, is going to come from tonight for the Warriors.
Especially Poole's got to play big, but it's a collective effort. The margin of error is so slim. And this second unit for Golden State has really struggled during the regular season. So an opportunity for someone to find some rhythm here tonight. They're going to get the opportunities for sure.
McCollum left open. Not usually a good idea for an opposing defense. And a much-needed basket for Golden State, their first bucket in more than 6 minutes.
And they got a paint touch, which led to an open three-pointer. DiVincenzo has to continue to attack off the bounce as Golden State showing a little 2-3 zone here now defensively. Short pass, finding the open McCollum, the unselfish play from Zion Williamson.
Yeah, we asked Willie Green about this growing nucleus, what they're starting to build here with David Griffin and the 3 players. He said the great part about these 3 guys is that all of them are such willing passers. They're all unselfish at their core as players. As Devontae Graham has now checked into the game for the Pelicans. Here he is, an off-balance 3, splash!
When you talk about the unselfish play, the character of the play, the three for New Orleans. And you talked earlier, David Griffin putting together a solid team here that has high. It'll take some time for this Pelican team to figure things out, but I tell you what, early here in this first quarter, it has been all New Orleans. Zion Williamson showing a little bit of passing ability. Pels in control.
Who got next? Okay, I see you, Ace. I see you, Ace.
Okay, I see you too.
More sledećo.
How y'all feel? Y'all good?
Get Google Pixel 7 or Pixel 7 Pro for free. With the new law, our family found a health plan for less than $57 a month. And knowing that we are covered, it simplifies life.
With my plan for $0 a month, I know I can get the care I need to live my best life.
They were able to make sure that I was taken care of. It was really life-changing to have that. And I only pay $16 a month.
For the first time in my life, I found a great plan for $0 a month.
Healthcare.gov is here for millions, like you.
Hi, William Devane here. It's the Medicare annual enrollment period, and this year it's simple. 1, before the deadline, call the number at the bottom of your screen. 2, check your zip code for a Medicare Advantage plan with $0 premiums, prescriptions, dental care, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month. 3, you'll find out what you're eligible for. The annual enrollment period has a deadline, so don't delay, call now.
I called to find a plan that covers more of my dental expenses.
I call every year to make sure my doctor is still in my plan.
I called to see if my zip code has a plan with the benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I call every year.
Call to find out the changes to your plan and see if you're eligible for anything new. The annual enrollment period has a deadline, so don't delay, call now.
Call 1-800-914-2086. That's 1-800-914-2086 now.
Blitz, 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 blitz him. To the corner, Dante, all the way. Good. Good, CJ, good. CJ, by yourself. By yourself. By yourself. All right, JK. Stay in your shifts. Stay in your shifts.
Stay with it. Keep your energy. Tonight's gonna go well. Okay, nothing. You haven't even touched the ball yet. I'm gonna take a timeout. I'm gonna talk to the guys about it. Okay? Stay with it. Yep.
Kerr. Willie actually spent 4 years on Kerr's staff. Half 16-19 as Zion is fouled. He'll shoot a couple of free throws. Willie was a part of those two back-to-back championship teams, 17 and 18. And it was interesting, of course, your relationship with Willie. You played with him your last year in the league with the Clippers. As we get another look at Williamson working underneath. Foul charge to Kuminga, his second. Steve actually called you when he got wind that maybe Willie was thinking of coaching. Kerr had an opening on his staff. Willie had just started to get into a bit of a coaching role with the Clippers. And why don't you take it from there?
Willie finished his career in Orlando. We were, friends, obviously former teammates, neighbors, and, I helped at least connect Willie with Steve Kerr. And, Willie kept me sane my last year in LA as I was approaching retirement, but just has a great temperament about him, a great ability to communicate, kind of a servant leader, if you will, and obviously has learned from one of the best in Steve Kerr. Also, Monty Williams was there in Phoenix for a few years and now has taken the reins here and given a lot of people here hope in New Orleans.
Williamson, a little bit of a bobble in the transition. Boy, banks it in. They're not going to count it. much to the chagrin of this crowd. But you have to be encouraged just with the activity level of Zion Williamson as the whistle is blown. It's on Ty Jerome, his first.
There, great wall up there defensively by Larry Nance Jr. And this team getting out in transition. You said it best, the activity of Zion on point. Maybe a little rusty. Some of the finishes, fumbling the catches here and there. That comes with not playing, but the movement and the health looking good for Mr. Williamson.
Williamson sits down 3 points. Here's Graham. Bumped on a 3, and he'll have a chance in 4. It's on Jerome and Devontae Graham. What a shot.
Devontae Graham off that screen. Little contact by Jerome after he released the shot. Big no-no, not fouling three-point shooters. And Devontae Graham is a guy. His numbers are a little bit down. His minutes are down this season as New Orleans is trying to figure out this team. But showing here early what he is capable of. A quick 6 points, and now 7.
Great, just to get back to Willie, we spent some time with him earlier tonight in his office, and so highly respected as an assistant. Of course, going back to his time with Steve Kerr, as we mentioned, but his temperament that you just alluded to, he's to coach and connect as JaMychal Green hits a nifty little turnaround of the paint.
Yeah, I mean, this time last year, there was a lot of uncertainty about this ball club. What was the culture like? Can they figure things out? And they got off to a horrible start last season, turned things around midway. And Willie Green understanding culture, intentional connections, building trust, and now there's great excitement and a great future for this ball club. And Willie's leadership played a big, big role.
Najee Marshall keeping that play alive. Shot clock at 8. Nance to Graham. Back to promising in paint.
Now, I tell you, he took a little contact there, but showed some nice touch on that bank shot.
Pelicans have hit 9 of their last 10 shots.
And, of course, doing it with their defense, getting stops, using that momentum on the offensive end.
Under 2 minutes to play in the quarter. And this is going to be another Golden State turnover.
And right now, if it's not Jordan Poole, really nobody on Golden State has that ability to go create a shot, make something happen for the ball club. So it's going to have to be precise execution on offense for Golden State to create opportunities.
Ingram, boy, he's just so good offensively. Textbook fake, got Moody to bite, and right now their starting unit with the exception of Kevon Looney, and right now they are getting an uppercut punch. Warriors have 4 made field goals if you've just hopped on with us, and 5 turnovers.
And nothing easy. Everything's being contested, denying, forcing turnovers. Right now, New Orleans, it's not about the opponent. It's about their standard that they've.
But it is a penalty situation, and Brandon Ingram will shoot a couple of free throws.
Like I said, everything contested, denying, and then, of course, once getting the turnover, attacking. Of course, Ingram begging for the continuation. What do you think, 3D?
I don't know, guys. I heard the whistle. He stayed in his move and finished it.
Yeah, we've seen a lot.
Old-fashioned one, right?
We've seen a lot less. And a team get counted for the continuation, but Ingram will try to get a couple of those points back at the free throw line.
And you talked earlier about Ingram and his development, playmaking ability, able to attack. I thought early in his career, his frame was kind of weak. He wasn't strong, and so he didn't have the ability to finish through contact. But with growth and maturity and confidence, he is a multi-level scorer in this league and also a great playmaker.
Guys, I think that made a Shaq in the Fool moment right there.
That's a sure contender. And so the shaky first quarter continues 3D for Golden State, but just to get back to Ingram, durability definitely has been an issue for him. 27 games that he missed last year. Already he's missed 4 this year with a concussion as Dyson Daniels finding a seam, and everyone getting in on the party right now for the Pels. 35-11 with under a minute left in the quarter. Here comes Pool Boy. Pretty crossover all the way to the cup.
And I like that. I mean, we think of Poole as a guy who can certainly shoot from downtown, but he can get downhill as well, like he did on that last play.
Ingram directing traffic, guarded by Jerome. Licking his chops. Ingram finds his spot. Fight for it. Nance lost it underneath. But the only thing that hasn't gone right for the Pelicans. New Orleans 9-7. 5-3 at home entering this one tonight. Taking on a world champs. Golden State just 8-9. Crazy to think they're a sub-500 team as we approach the end of November. That is Poole. High off glass and a chance at 3.
And we've seen it happen 3 times early in the game. He attacked off the bounce, 3-point play opportunity. Last possession did the same on the switch. And here again, another 3-point opportunity at the free throw line. But Jordan Poole has to be aggressive and not just settling for threes, but continuing to attack off the bounce.
So Stephen street close. Curry was just remarkable last night at Houston. 33 points, 15 assists. One shy of his career mark.
How about Klay Thompson, too? Both of them.
Wow. Klay, 41 points. Here's Graham, 3-pointer, missed it. Rebound, Baldwin. And that's going to take us to the end of the quarter here in New Orleans. Golden State, fewest points in a first quarter this season. Their previous low, 23. Well below that mark. And right now in a 19-point hole in the Big Easy against Zion and the Pelicans on NBA TV Center Court.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Contestants ready? Go!
Oh my goodness.
No! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I used the wrong paint.
Grandma, how wide are 2 reindeer? 27, 28, 29.
Make this December one to remember. Together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
The future is threatened by enemies often unseen and unexpected. In the midst of an uncertain and evolving world, the need for Marines to defeat these shifting threats is critical, because the need to ensure stability for our nation has never been greater. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
Let's go! In the NBA, what's happening next is happening now. We hunger for another shot. We got the Brown, the Claw, the Spider, and Tyrannosaurus.
Come on, really?
Hey, DeMar, we got the kicks, right?
Let's see.
Oh.
Yeah, we got him.
This is the non-stop, never boring, make it new, every night National Basketball Association. And that's all before tip-off.
Ain't ducking, no smoke. We run up the check.
Center Court on NBA TV, be presented by Google Pixel. Take a little stroll downtown New Orleans. No city quite like it in America. And what a start for the Pelicans, 35-16, as we would rejoin you from Smoothie King Center, Spiro Leaders, Grant Hill, Dennis Scott, rest of our NBA TV crew. Golden State severely shorthanded if you've just joined us, playing without 4 of their 5 starters, with the exception of Kevon Looney. No Clay, no Steph, no Draymond, and no Andrew Wiggins tonight, as Ryan Rollins is whistled for his first. Golden State played in Houston. I think most people expected that Klay Thompson wouldn't play tonight. Grant hasn't played in any second night of a back-to-back this year. But we got word about 2 hours before tip that all of those other players would be out, as Jonas Valanciunas, pretty reverse finish, and he'll have a chance at 3.
Valanciunas just bully ball inside there for that three-point play opportunity. I mean, 3-4 dribbles. You got to have somebody come and help. Can't leave Green on an island as he's undersized inside there. But it's the equivalent of 2 extra seasons, the amount of playoff games that this crew has run. You got to be smart about managing his time. So this game,
Chris fires on his first 3. McCollum, the drive and kick. Daniels, a little bit too much that time. Fight for it underneath, and well played. Nice save by Lamb on the baseline. Yeah, Steve Kerr telling us in our conversation before the game that his sports science people look at the schedule and kind of map out the 82-game slate, and they pinpoint between 8 to 10 games where they tell the coaching staff, look, it's going to be difficult to play key guys in this night. That there's an element of fear where the injuries can occur when there's fatigue involved, and that's, you know, you wish that you had that, Grant, and 3D when you guys were playing. It's just different. It's a different world these days.
It is a different world. And you look at Stephen Curry, we just saw him on the sidelines. I mean, at 34, still ranked 2nd in the NBA in efficiency, 2nd in scoring behind Luka Doncic. I mean, really on pace to have, you know, some of the best numbers.
This is going to be whistled for the foul. And that is going to be his 3rd. Quick.
I like that.
First hack.
Great contest. I don't know if Moody's, if the backboard, you know, looked like Daniels.
Yeah, he got a piece of him.
Got a little piece of that arm from that angle. I always love it when the young guys, they don't settle. They get off the bounce and try to meet in the sky there.
Grant, one of the interesting things that Steve Kerr told us as we take another look at the meeting at the summit between Moody and Daniels, Steve Kerr actually asked Steph a couple of weeks ago the difference in his playing weight between now and the first year that Steve had Steph 8 years ago. And Steph told him he's playing about 15 pounds heavier. He's been able to play through that contact that gave him issues earlier in his career.
And it doesn't look like he has slowed down at all, going back to when he was younger. I mean, Stephen Curry, when he's at his best.
McCollum trying to beat the clock, misses.
But I mean, Stephen Curry just at 34, the way he's played, doesn't look tired. He's great efficiency. And right now, Golden State trying to get something going. Obviously have to get stops on the defensive end leading out to the offense. But I mean, he has a chance. Really is on track to be the oldest player in NBA history to average 30 points for a season, which is really incredible when you think of all the great scorers who played in this league.
Unbelievable. Here's New Orleans with the answer. Valanciunas underneath. Alvarado gets it back. just like that, 4 quick points consecutively. This kid, Jose Alvarado, has been instant energy off the bench for Willie Green.
They call him Grand Theft Alvarado on full display here in New Orleans.
Why just walk when you can glide? In Skechers ultra-comfortable Glide Step Flex footwear, every step feels like you're floating as our geometric midsole design gives you a pillow-soft landing, then propels you forward. Plus, they have Skechers premium cushioning for extra comfort. Get gliding in Skechers Glide Step Flex.
Real-time ticket upgrade? Meaning I get to meet my childhood idol? That works. I named my dog Joey Fatone.
When your customer experience works, the world works. That's why the world works with ServiceNow.
Square on the rocks.
Introducing Tradicional Cristalino.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5. Which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic. Attention, all Marines and family members who served, lived, or worked at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or any of these serious health issues, you may now qualify for significant financial compensation. A new law gives Marines and family members the opportunity to receive justice for their illnesses caused by toxic water exposure at Camp Lejeune. Call Liberty Legal now. It costs you nothing if you don't win. Call 800-915-0023.
With ButcherBox, you can share food you trust with people that you love. ButcherBox delivers grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can enjoy the important things. Join us at the table. Get 2 free ribeyes in every box for a year.
Vontae, switch. You take out Dyson. You make the pass. To the corner. To the corner. You got to cut off hard. You got to go off. Man, seal it wherever he is. If you do that, he's just going to hold you up. Quick. Curl it, JT. 2 up, Larry. 2 up. 2 for 1. Shoot it at 33. Stay with it, Blue. Stay with it. We're good. We're good.
Steve Kerr, Willie Green, Mike for Sound here in New Orleans tonight. As play resumes, 41-23. Ty Jerome misses a little floater, and the rebound by Valanciunas. The other thing that Willie Green told us that he learned from Steve Kerr, those 4 years he was on Kerr's staff with Golden State, as Valanciunas is going to shoot a couple of free throws. He said he learned from Steve what goes into being the best. And one thing specifically was having an open line of communication, not only with your players, Grant, but everyone in the organization. Could be support staff, could be obviously others on the coaching staff, front office, just free-flowing ideas back and forth, something that he's tried to take with him here in New Orleans.
You're really learning from one of the best. I mean, Steve Kerr, just a fantastic communicator, was a fantastic broadcaster. And I know from a personal experience, having played for him, and he was a general manager in Phoenix, his ability to communicate, his ability to say what needs to be said and manage players, coaches, owners, just fantastic as an individual. And so that certainly has served him well, and indirectly has served Willie Green well as he's learning, or as he was learning as an assistant coach.
Yeah, Willie said even having those uncomfortable conversations, something he observed when he was on Curry's staff. Jordan Poole poked away. That defense by Alvarado, just incredible. Najee Marshall, open floor, and Jones. They just keep on coming.
Turnovers leading to transition baskets. That's been the storyline here in this first half for New Orleans. Everything rolling as the Pelicans in the midst of a 7-0 run.
I am Puss in Boots. The legend will never die. You are down to your last life. Oh no. Legend tells of a wishing star. That star will get me my lives back. The wishing star is in the dark forest. 1, 2, after you.
Wait, what?
Dog, still alive?
Let's go find out.
Puss in Boots, rated PG. Sneak previews this Saturday. Get tickets now. It's the Sprite Holiday Special.
Yeah. You know what makes the season the season? Family. So, let's raise a glass to those who couldn't get here tonight.
I'm Debbie. Hey! Debbie's here, y'all. And to my brother Ray.
Can't start this party without Uncle Ray.
To the mailman. With my courtside season tickets?
Be grateful for what you have.
All right, Grandpa. No, you have the end.
Right now, we had team dinner on a rooftop. I think it's called Mason's Rooftop or something like that. Nice views, good vibes. So just a little team bonding.
You guys know the things that we did last season. We want to build on that momentum, and that's already started. It started in Summer League. It started with all of our work in the summer, all the things that you guys have been doing, and we look forward to having another exciting season.
And what if I want to change my plan?
State Farm's here to help.
What if I want to change sports?
Newcomer Chris Paul is maintaining a narrow lead in these final meters. But here comes an opponent closing the gap, 1 foot in front of the other. They are battling it out. And Chris Paul edges ahead. Those are the hips of a champion.
At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs. Get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The NBA on NBA TV is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA, and by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Back inside the Smoothie King Center, downtown New Orleans. On this Monday night, Spiro Adidas Grant Hill, Dennis Scott, our producer Damon Fisher, Jonathan Bywaters, our director, rest of our sensational NBA TV crew. So nice to have you with us. Pelicans 9-7, final game of their 6-game homestand. They get Zion Williamson back tonight. Right now holding a 21-point lead against this severely shorthanded Golden State side that is playing without Steph, without Clay, no Draymond Green, and no Andrew Wiggins. Almost exactly the same set of circumstances as the last meeting between these two teams here earlier this month.
And one thing when we talked to Willie Green, he said in that first game, they actually had to play. Golden State came out with undermanned and competed. Certainly the Pelicans learned from that first game and had a sense of urgency here from the start.
Good interior defense as Rollins pokes it away. There's Willie Green. Not a bad first rookie season as an NBA head coach last year. Jonathan Kuminga tees it up and misses on a three. There's our second poll question. Grant, what's the ceiling for the Pelicans if healthy? So what they did last year, fought their way into the play-in tournament, secured the 8th seed, and took the top-seeded Phoenix Suns incredibly 6 games in that first-round series. Now a full year with C.J. McCollum. How far can this team go?
Well, a full year with McCollum and also Zion Williamson, as you said, if he's healthy as well. I think this team's second round. I mean, I think that's probably internally the expectation here with this ball club. And as you insert a Zion Williamson back in the mix with McCollum coming over from last year, it's going to take some time, like I said earlier tonight. Pull wide open, knocking down that three-pointer. But this is a team that I envision New Orleans being better at the end of the season as they get comfortable playing with one another, the inside-outside trio of Zion Williamson, McCollum, and Ingram.
Valanciunas underneath, extends, offensive foul. Dennis, what do you think? Weigh in on the Pelicans.
I love everything that Dave Griffin has done. I was talking to Zion before the game. He said, big fella, do you feel any pressure on you? Let's look at the replay right here. Valanciunas. Maybe that chicken wing got him a little bit, Grant. Maybe it got him a little bit. But if Xanos is on the court and he's attacking the paint and he's healthy, they have a chance to go as deep as healthy as he is, in my opinion. What did he call him?
Xanos.
Xanos.
Oh,
they call him Xanos here.
I like that. I like that. You know, Dennis always gets the inside scoop.
I can't take full credit. I stole it from the locals here.
Looks like Larry Nance Jr., Brandon Ingram are going to check into the game. But you just think about what they achieved last year, guys. And Grant alluded to the slow start. It's crazy to think they were 1-12 last year. At the start of the year, you've got a rookie head coach. Everyone was asking, boy, maybe Willie Green's in over his head. Then they find out Zion Williamson is going to miss the entire year. The devastation of that news. To think that Willie Green, a rookie head coach, was able to bring that group back and finish the way they did, really remarkable in so many ways.
Yeah, and I think that's an underrated part of this team and Willie Green and what he brought last year. A lot of first-time coaches, it could really break you going through something like that early with a team who had expectations, but he was able to sort of weather the storm, as we say in the NBA and in sports. And obviously that trade from McCollum, a huge difference. And they came out of that All-Star break one of the hottest teams in the NBA and gained confidence. And obviously, as you said, were able to get into the playoffs and get a taste of the postseason. But now there's expectations. You know, last year they weren't. This year they are. And they manage those expectations with this young ball club.
Moody with the interception. Here comes Moody, weaving his way all the way to the cup, puts it down, and he's fouled.
And just an impressive play there defensively, getting back, forcing the turnover. One thing we did talk with Steve Kerr, with the young players of Golden State, how difficult it is to develop on a team that has championship expectations. Certainly we can get into that a little bit more if we come back from this.
New customers get our best deals on all smartphones.
That's right, but what if I'm already a customer? Oh, no problem. Hey, Cam.
Yeah.
Same deal. Yeah, it's kind of our thing.
Oh, it's a great deal. What if I'm new to AT&T?
Cam, can you...
Hey, well, what about for existing customers?
Same deal.
Is he okay? It's not complicated. With AT&T, new and existing customers get our best deals on every smartphone.
It's the Sprite Holiday Special.
We all know that there's cousin magic, there's holiday music magic, then there's that world when it all comes together. So make it loud for this group that's ready to give you a show.
I see y'all forgot how to call somebody.
Nah, just been busy.
You know she busy with the glow up. We see you.
Hey.
All right, so here we go. Ready?
Joy to the world.
Joy.
Excuse us.
What is you doing?
Y'all can't use one more member? I mean, like a play cousin.
We got too many already.
All right.
Want more behind the scenes access to your favorite teams and players? How about more game highlights and news straight from the source? Get the new NBA app. It's powered by Microsoft for all the NBA action. 7 straight points for the defending NBA champs. And they have cut into this deficit, but still in a 16-point hole as Moses Moody gets to the free throw line. Grant, just to get back to one thing you were just talking about with these bench players. You spoke about how veteran they were, their second unit last year with guys like Otto Porter and GP3 and Bielitsa. This is such a young second unit. And it was interesting what Steve Kerr told us before the game. He said, I have been unfair as Brandon Ingram hits the three. I have been unfair to our bench guys. Usually you have a chance to play through mistakes they've had a quick leash because of their record. They've had to win games, and there's been pressure and urgency from Steve Kerr to keep his starters on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, this season, they probably have played less minutes and been more inconsistent with their minutes than last year because they had veterans and they got off to such a great start, Golden State. So this year, yeah, Steve Kerr acknowledged how unfair it is, and you think of teams but they can play and work through those mistakes and not have the the extreme expectations that this franchise has. So being patient and keeping everybody on the same page, not easy to do when you have championship expectations and young players.
As we cross the 5-minute mark here before halftime, Nance kicks into the corner. Marshall, Alvarado, that's a three. Got it.
And that's the part of the game.
Kuminga, halftime, Nance kicks into the corner. Marshall, Alvarado, that's a three. Got it.
And that's the part of the game from Nance Jr. Finding the open man in the corner, swing, leading to that open three.
This is Kuminga out of JaMychal Green. First year with Golden State. What a potential addition he could be as the season goes on. He's got 4 points.
And he's had some seasons in recent years where he shot the ball very well from the three-point line. Was in Denver the last 2 years, but hasn't found that long-range shooting touch thus far with the Warriors.
Nance underneath, blanketed by Green. This is Alvarado. Not that time on the rebound, corralled by Green underneath. And really, that is the biggest question for this team. Obviously, their starting five, Grant, as good as any group in the NBA, but can this second unit for Steve Kerr figure things out as the season goes on?
We talk about the starting lineup for Golden State. Once again, almost a turnover. Looks like it was a turnover there. Defensively, Pelicans locked in, but that Golden State starting lineup this year has the best plus minus of any lineup in the NBA. And the team is plus 8 points per game in the 14 minutes this lineup plays, which is hard to believe. They've only played 14 minutes together, but that's in part because Kevon Looney's minutes are so low throughout the regular season. With this bench, if they can figure out this bench or get some improvement from them during the season, then they have a chance to move up in the standings in the Western Conference.
It almost sounds silly to talk about concerns that Steve Kerr has with this team, with all the Hall of Fame caliber talent on this roster, but it's been a struggle to start the year. I think everyone expected a championship hangover, Grant, but I don't think anyone expected this. 8-9, and look at the struggles that they've had on the road. They lost their first 8 road games before getting the win last night in Houston. Just wild to see some of the issues that they've had.
Well, I mean, think about this: 8-9 through 17 games. Now, how many teams have gone on to win the NBA title with a losing record at this point in the season? There's been none. All 76 teams that have won the NBA title had a winning record through 17 games in that particular season. So obviously high expectations, but not the ideal start for this franchise.
Your preparation tonight has been
I had to do some
inspiring.
I had to do some extra prep when I learned that these guys weren't playing.
Dennis, what do you got?
Well, as Grant was breaking down his extra prep, Kuminga with the follow-up. I'm sorry, Spiro.
Jonathan Kuminga just detonated. Holy smokes.
Whoa.
Here comes Poole. I think everyone's still stunned.
Yes.
Dennis, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No problem. The game is taking over. A monster dunk and 2 pool layups. I'll take it.
So Golden State, can that potentially jumpstart their offensive game?
Well, as I was getting ready to say, the last 2 possessions we had point Zion and 1 turnover and 1 good shot before the Warriors 3 buckets.
This is Najee Marshall, boy, under control maneuver. And that ends an 8-0 run for Golden State.
Yeah, I'm still stunned by that tip dunk there by Kuminga.
Those are the glimpses, Grant, that he showed last year as he fought his way into Steve Kerr's rotation. Hasn't quite been the start that he was hoping for this year. As we get another look at Najee Marshall's finish underneath.
And I like Marshall. Marshall got good size, 6'7", strong, showing some patience there as he got into the paint. Good productive minutes off the bench for him.
Ingram trying to fend off DiVincenzo. It's a tough matchup for DiVincenzo as he is called for his first. And Brandon Ingram to the free throw line for the Pelicans.
Ingram right there, just so good off the bounce. He loves to go right, which he sometimes will pull up off the bounce, dribbling with his right hand, but showing he's more than capable. Just a smart, heady play on his part, drawing that foul and getting to the free throw line.
Grant, tell you, the other question with New Orleans is when you think about what the ceiling could be with this team, can they become good enough defensively? You know, there's been a knock on Ingram that, you know, obviously as skilled as anyone offensively, he's a scorer, playmaker, below average defender, and Zion Williamson, below average defender at this early stage of his career. That's been a surprise for a lot of people who watch this team.
Well, that's part of taking that next step as a ball club, the consistency and buying in to the team defense that Willie Green requires his team to play. So they can improve on that end and also build that continuity on offense. They have a chance to take a huge step. And one of the things with Zion's presence this year, one of the players who struggled is really McCollum. His production is down when Zion's in the game. So playing that point guard position, obviously having to adjust to a player with the style of play that Zion plays, McCollum figured it.
Obviously still playing at a high level, but that's part of the question for New Orleans now. You incorporate such a huge piece like a Zion Williamson to a team that just vastly overachieved last year. There's going to be growing pains, and I think they're experiencing that at different stretches. Here comes McCollum. Boy, tough floater with DiVincenzo on his hip. Under a minute now left before halftime. Here comes Kuminga. Working up a nice lather. Boy, he took a shot. Has to be careful here. Barking at the officials. Zion couldn't squeeze it. And then Nance. What a disruptor he is defensively. Ingram taking flight.
And just a chaotic sequence right there, up and down. Brandon Ingram, one dribble from the corner at the rim.
Brandon Ingram has 20 and a half. DiVincenzo lost it. 3-on-3, Ingram getting back. Alvarado, corner three. It has been an offensive clinic by New Orleans. Number 6 scoring team in the NBA this season. And right now doing it at both ends, Alvarado. And that takes us to halftime here in the Big Easy. The shorthanded championship team at Golden State, fewest points that they have scored in a half this season as they are taking it on the chin here in New Orleans. 65-41 Pelicans on NBA TV center court.
The game's not over yet. We have everything to change this game. We have the will.
The desire for better, the heart, and the inspiration. When we stand united for sustainability, we can still win this game. We have the people. Goal of the century.
Join more visits. Have more meet and greets. And have less to worry about. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 a month or less with financial help. Feel like a million and find your plan during open enrollment. Healthcare.gov is here for millions like you.
The more you play on my app, the more you earn with Caesar Rewards. Check it out. I'm going full Caesar. Let's go. What's full Caesar?
That's when you place a free bet while eating a Caesar's Rewards meal at his...
Yeah, I think we should.
What's happening in the new NBA app? What isn't happening? Watch this. This is Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Oh, stop it. Being up to speed at the speed of all access to all the above.
And that's all day.
Big stops, bigger shots, passes behind the back to peeks behind the scenes. In every moment in between.
Because if it's happening
in the new NBA app.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
We're watching the American Express Halftime Report. With Amex, it's never a question of if, but when.
Golden State Warriors with 16 turnovers in the first half, though they did have the best play of the first half, only scored 41 points. The Pelicans, on the other hand, 65 on the board. That's the most that they've scored in a half this season. Welcome to the American Express Halftime Report. Chris Miles here with Zeke and Jay Crossover. And, scoring is one thing, but passing is even better, and Zion is putting on a clinic in the first half.
He's just picking them apart. Obviously, he demands a double team. He's making all the right reads. Every move, every play he's making for a teammate. Check this one out. He's going in the post. Look at his patience. He spots CJ right now. He's still there. Okay, but watch Zion's fist pump afterwards. He loves throwing the assists. He brings great joy to keep his teammates involved. And he's doing it over and over again. Then this next one, this is this beautiful pass. Some point guards can make this pass. Right over the top, on the money. All Nance has to do is lay it right up. He did the work for Larry Nance right here. And then this one. Takes his time, patient, plays off 2 feet. Watch the right-hand dish. The timely cut. You cut harder when you know it's an opportunity to get the ball, and Zion is picking them apart, and that's what makes him special. Again, being that dual threat, that point forward that they need him to be.
Making it look too easy.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely right on point. And the thing that, passing is contagious. When I look at the stat sheet, everyone who's played for the Pelicans has scored a basket. That means the ball is moving around. And everybody's taking good quality shots.
15 assists in the first half, but for the Golden State Warriors, 16 turnovers. They had 7 in the first quarter, decided, okay, second quarter, 9 more. No Steph, no Clay, no Draymond, no Andrew Wiggins, and this looks like a completely different team.
Not surprising, with the turnovers. They're playing against a great defensive team who's playing with good intensity, but also the way Golden State plays, everyone passes the basketball, touches the basketball. This is a group that doesn't really play that often in games together for these consistent extended minutes. So I'm not surprised by the high turnovers that we see.
Yeah, 16 to just 5 assists. And you see GTA, Grand Theft Alvarado, and on a lot of those plays, the spark plug on defense off the bench.
He's amazing because, like you pointed out earlier, Chris, he can bring the crowd into the game defensively. Most guys that come off the bench, they come off to score, they come off offensively to make plays. He's doing it with defensive tenacity, intensity. He owns his job, and he brings that effort every single night, and it's contagious. He brings his own teammates into the game as well.
Pelicans with a 24-point lead at the half, despite the fact Golden State Warriors went on an 8-0 run late in that first half. Crunch time is on right now on the NBA app, and you see some games are close. A lot are at halftime. Let's check in with Jared Greenberg and Channing Frye.
Most of their guys are hurt, but what are they? I think that they can stay healthy and play a half a season together. Yeah. This team is a playoff team.
All right, we're watching this Indiana game, and obviously there are other factors than who is going to win or lose this game. You're paying attention to the line and the over-under right now. Indiana came in as a 7-point favorite. Looks like they are going to cover that comfortably. Here's the star report so far tonight. And at first glance, looks like good numbers for Trae Young. Problem is, he had 19 of those 23 in the first half, limited to just 4 points after halftime here.
Man, the Cavs defense, if you have been watching this on the short box, has been absolutely amazing.
Third best in the NBA.
They're aggressive, their length. Look at these shots. Those are hard shots over 7-footers. And right here, Isaac Okoro's done a good job of getting to the body. But he's so crafty. But again, these are hard skill shots. Want
to hear more from Jared and Channing? Go to the NBA app. Watch some crunch time. Zion Williamson, you saw he only had 3 points. Big Deuce coming there for the Pelicans. Up big at the half.
Grandma, how wide are 2 reindeer? 27, 28, 29.
Make this December one to remember. Together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
That is definitely him.
Dude, that's just a guy taking a little break with a peppermint frosty.
I gotta ask him. Hello.
Hi.
Mind if I sit? Okay.
When it's Frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new Peppermint Frosty.
Is that Timo?
Giannis, what's up, dude?
Oh, man. You want to grab a selfie?
Oh, for sure.
Hey, don't try to hide it. I'll see you with the Grizzlies.
All right. What's that?
I think you with that.
Ooh. Watch this. Glizzy gone. Okay, I see you. Oh, man. Hey, we're going to play one-on-one or what? Let's go. Get Google Pixel 7 or Pixel 7 Pro for free.
I fought for the legalization of the one thing that can bring comfort to millions, Skechers.
Cut, you see.
Willie, I don't think Skechers are illegal anywhere.
Really?
No.
Well, pass the Skechers.
Skechers, legalized comfort.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, can give you your real hair back permanently. This is the latest technology. For an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card for $250 off, scan this QR code. Don't wait. Scan the code now and get the permanent solution protected by the Bosley Guarantee.
Uncommon Goods is for the gift givers. No matter what kind of mind reading, trend leading, expectation exceeding, OMG, where did you get this giver you are? We've got you. Visit uncommongoods.com to be the gift giver you were meant to be.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
You're watching the American Express Halftime Report. With Amex, it's never a question of if, but when.
Welcome to NBA Bet Insights by FanDuel. I'm Brian Gelfalder. Second half of Warriors Pelicans coming up. Your over-unders at 216.5. Jordan Poole with almost half the Warriors' points. They don't look confident at all here. Pelicans, I'll come off the gas pedal a little bit. Give me under 216.5 here. Second half, Warriors, Pelicans. All right, late game here on NBA TV. LA Clippers and the Utah Jazz. Paul George not playing for the Clips. Mike Conley not playing for the Jazz. Conley's absence, to me, looms a heck of a lot larger than George's absence. Kawhi Leonard is back, and although he hasn't found his stride yet, he gives this team an emotional lift Norman Powell's been playing great. John Wall, 15 assists the last time out. And I got to tell you, the backcourt of Clarkson and Sexton has got a lot of irrational confidence, which is not a wonderful thing. Give me the Clippers minus the 2.5 and under 225.5 for Clippers Jazz here coming up later on NBA TV. All right, stay with us and stay tuned for the second half of the Golden State Warriors and the New Orleans Pelicans right here on NBA TV Center Court.
My active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. Now, Skyrizi helps me get going by treating my skin and joints. Along with significantly clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Skyrizi attaches to and reduces a source of excess inflammation that can lead to skin and joint symptoms. With Skyrizi, 90% clearer skin and less joint pain is possible.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like the feeling of improving my skin and joints. And that means everything. Now's the time to talk to your doctor about how Skyrizi can help treat your psoriatic arthritis so you can get going. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
You're helping her study for a geography test. When a burger with steak, butter, and bacon sounds like the best, she's about to find out you can't read a map. Sonic steak, butter, bacon, cheeseburger. Sonic.
The future is threatened, but enemies often unseen and unexpected. In the midst of an uncertain and evolving world, the need for Marines to defeat these shifting threats is critical, because the need to ensure stability for our nation has never been greater. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
Real-time ticket upgrade? Meaning I get to meet my childhood idol? That works! I named my dog Joey for Tom.
When your customer experience works, the world works. That's why the world works with ServiceNow.
Welcome, everybody, to the big podcast with Shaq. You said you were the greatest defender ever.
That's what you're supposed to say. I ain't got 3 rings.
Ben Simmons becomes a better foul shooter. Then this story's over.
Download new episode of the Big Podcast Weekly.
We got a Western Conference doubleheader on center court.
How good is Steph Curry? Posterized.
Warriors Pelicans followed by Jazz Clippers. Next on NBA TV.
NBA TV Center Court coming to you live tonight from the Big Easy. It's presented by Google Pixel. There's your halftime score. All Pelicans 65-41 as they play a Golden State team that is basically without its entire starting 5 tonight, with the exception of Kevon Looney. As we welcome you back, courtside Spiro Diaz Grant Hill. We'll hear from Dennis Scott in just a couple of minutes. This is why we pay the big bucks to break down that first half. What did you see?
Well, it doesn't take a lot of money to realize that the turnovers from Golden State, just a lot of confusion, unable to get into their sets. 16 turnovers, which led to 20 20 points, for New Orleans. Just confusion, uncertainty, obviously missing their stars out there: Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green. And on the other hand, the best player, the underrated star, as I call him, Brandon Ingram, giving the Warriors a little bit of everything. Obviously, his shooting from 3 has improved this season, but he can get to the rim, absorb contact, score in all kinds of ways, and the brotherhood is in full effect here in New Orleans. Brandon Ingram with 20 first-half points.
Ingram was sensational. And maybe more importantly for Willie Green and the Pelicans, a team that is trying to get its defense right, they keep Golden State to its fewest points in the first half this season. Pelicans 9-7 coming in. They've been off since Friday. Their loss here to the Celtics. Tonight playing the final game of their 6-game homestand. Zion Williamson back in the lineup, if you've just joined us. Williamson missing the last 3 with the bruised right foot. Actually, the same right foot that sidelined him all of last season, the fracture. Jonas Valanciunas dumps it off to Jones. And Herbert Jones will step to the line for 2.
And you saw right away, Zion Williamson caught the ball, isoed on the side, went to the rim, just lost it. But just a beautiful pass there and a great cut by Jones to the rim. And we talked about Zion Williamson, how important he is, and the injury issues he's had in the past. But he's moving well, only 3 points right now, and obviously scoring not needed thus far. But let's see if they try to get him going, get some rhythm here in the second half, the Pelicans.
Dennis, what do you got?
Speaking with your brotherhood, Mr. D.I., and talking to my brotherhood, Mr. Alvarado, and both guys said at being a young team, they learned before playing against the Portland Trailblazers, no Dame didn't play. They played down and lost that ball game. So they heard no Steph, no Clay, no Draymond. That's why they kept their focus, and that's why they're trying to keep this lead here in the second half, guys.
Yeah, Dennis, Grant alluded to it earlier, something that Willie mentioned in our conversation with him before the game. Zion Williamson extends. They've been in this situation before against this team as well. Had to really struggle to win that game here on the 4th of November, in which Golden State played without Steph and Clay and Wiggins and Draymond.
Spirit, did you I felt a lot of disdain in his voice when he mentioned the brotherhood in reference to Duke.
I don't think he liked that.
You could tell. Dennis played in the ACC.
Excuse me.
Did you sense that?
I did.
Okay.
I did. So Jonathan Kuminga at the free throw line. With just over a minute gone by in this third quarter, Zion Williamson whistled for his first.
And that's a move right there that just, the little shot fake right there, getting Zion up in the air, drawing the foul. The shot fake can be such a part of a weapon. You have a deliberate shot fake. You can use that to get the defender off balance. And Kuminga has so much potential, still learning the game, still young. You know, he reclassified in high school, so really should be a first-year rookie. It's all said and done, but his athleticism, his potential, sky's the limit. Kuminga.
Valanciunas working against Jermichael Green as those two get tangled up underneath. And as Courtney Kirkland blows the whistle, this will be the second against Green.
That great seal inside there. And Kuminga Valanciunas 265. Jermichael Green only 227. So giving up almost 40 pounds on the interior.
So Jermichael Green starting the second half. We saw Kevon Looney on the bench. McCollum has his pocket picked, and McCollum is going to be hit with a technical here. Very upset. Felt like he got fouled by DiVincenzo.
Looked like 2 fouls on that play. First of all, a little push off by McCollum that they didn't call. And then I thought that DiVincenzo got a little bit of the arm. Right there, looked like McCollum pushed off with his right arm. DiVincenzo thought he got a little arm on that swipe.
So McCollum hit with a tech. And Jordan Poole at the free throw line, able to cut into this New Orleans lead. You know, one thing we haven't mentioned so far tonight, James Wiseman sent down to Santa Cruz, Steve Kerr's G League side, and that raised some eyebrows, certainly in the Bay Area and around the league. Wiseman, who, of course, missed all of last season, got off to a good start this year, but Wiseman's struggles indicative of the issues that they've had. Grant with his second unit. Kuminga misses on an off-balance baseline jumper.
No question. Look, you have to play to get better. Wiseman, only 3 games his freshman year at Memphis. Last year was out for the entire year, so he has to get reps. It's not a demotion. It's an opportunity to get better. Nice action here by Golden State. A little sloppy play offensively from New Orleans. able to create that steal, get out in transition. Golden State showing a little life here in the third quarter.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile. If you're wondering why I look like a reject from a very special holiday special, it's because we only spent $100 on this AI animation. And that means we can afford to offer you 3 months of premium wireless free on any plan, even unlimited. That's right. Happy holidays, everyone. Nope, wrong kind of happy. Stop it. Artificially intelligent, my ass.
All right, here we go. Look at that preacher. Hey, let me help you. Over there. Thanks, Tony. Hey, what up, man? You need a minute, man. You better know I'm the pretty penny, huh? You took your son on. I made your favorite. You laugh on the food. You can let it. It's the greatest mom in the world.
Hi, folks. It's the Medicare annual enrollment period, and this year it's simple. 1, before the deadline, call the number below. 2, check your zip code for a Medicare Advantage plan with prescriptions, dental care, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month. 3, you'll find out what you're eligible for. AEP has a deadline. Call now.
I called to find a plan that covers more of my dental expenses.
I call every year to make sure my doctor is still in my plan.
I called to find a plan with lower copays.
I called to see if my zip code has a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I call every year.
Millions of people have called the Medicare coverage helpline. You can too. Get what you deserve. AEP has a deadline, so don't delay. Call now.
Call 1-800-856-6751. That's 1-800-856-6751 now.
Klay Thompson, good shot to break shot. Off balance, corner 3. He's 5 for 5 now. Klay, heat check, red hot. Yes, Thompson. Wow. Klay for 3. Got it! He got right tonight. 10 threes, 41 points.
So Steve Kerr and Golden State have been waiting for that breakout performance for Klay Thompson, and it finally came last night in Houston. 41 points. Thompson hit 10 threes in that game. It's really been a struggle in terms of his shooting percentages, the efficiency, and they're hoping that that was the breakthrough performance that jumpstarts his season. And look at what he has done now. 6 3-year game, Grant, in which he had hit at least 10 threes. Curry and Thompson, 1-2 on that all-time list. Just incredible. Ingram, tough fadeaway shot as he elevates above the defense.
Incredible that Klay Thompson has done that 6 times during his career. But you said it best. He needed that game. Really struggling going into that game last night. Hadn't shot better than 50% from the field all season. Klay Thompson.
Offensive rebound by Green, and he's able to get it to Poole. And Jordan Poole now 24 points. Only his second 3 in 8 attempts. Jonas Valanciunas able to clean up the mess.
Just a big body there on the glass. So hard to box out.
Ty Jerome now on the floor running the point. Another poll question for you. Will the Splash Brothers ever make the NBA Finals again? Grant, that may be the easiest question that you have to get all season.
You know, I'm unselfish. I'm gonna swing that to my guy Dennis Scott.
Oh, I'm always wide open and Zion to the basket. But beginning of the season, guys, I was leaning towards yes. But now I'm a little nervous because of the development of the younger guys. We've already talked about it all night long. We've talked about it season long, where they just got their first road victory of the season. You have to have a deep enough bench for these guys to have enough help to be on the floor as they're getting older, Grant. So I'm leaning toward the left side now until I see more from the young guys, then I'll lean back to the right.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in agreement here. I mean, I think the expectation, the thought process, the start of the season that Golden State would once again lead the Western Conference and give themselves a chance to contend again and play in the NBA Finals. But the depth of this team is definitely in question and certainly has to be of concern for the organization at Golden State with the payroll as it is and the expectations and the great play of Stephen Curry still showing he's got a lot left in the tank. You want to try to win when you have that kind of talent.
Jordan Poole, a little bit of a Euro step, and he goes glass. Jordan Poole's got it all going at this point. And it's probably premature to ask this question, but Bob Myers has been so brilliant retooling this roster multiple times over the last couple of years. Will they have to make a move before the February deadline to address the issues that they have with this second unit? As Ingram with a snatch ahead of the field, this is McCollum's spot. Nope. And a three-point jack for CJ. Oh, what a shovel pass. Jerome getting it to Queen and an awfully late whistle. Sean Corbin makes the call underneath, and JaMychal Green to the free throw line. But, Grant, what about that question for Bob Myers and what they potentially might have to do?
Well, that's a great question. And it might be premature, as you said, maybe a little bit more of a sample size in the season. But if you get into late December, early January, and this team hasn't really turned the corner and gotten more production from this second unit, then you might have to start entertaining them. And mortgage the future for the present. Maybe bring in some veterans to shore up that second unit. These are decisions, I'm sure, that the brass at Golden State are considering or will be considering at some point in time. But like I said, you have so much money tied up in your big three. And, of course, Andrew Wiggins as well. Kevon Looney re-signed this summer. Still about winning championships if you're Golden State.
And one thing we should point out, JaMychal Green is a vet. Dante DiVincenzo missed a handful of games with a hamstring. So they're not all young, Dennis, with that second unit. Ingram exploding to the cut. No. Going to get to Dennis as soon as we come back. Brandon Ingram doing it all night. 20 in the first half as he picks up where he left off. And it's all Pels.
A Corona and palm trees.
A Corona and calm seas.
And a balm breeze.
And some long knees, strong like a tongue squeeze. You'll say, "Aw, geez," when I make your lawn freeze. Was that good?
No.
Oh.
It was incredible.
Oh.
Lee bad.
No.
But this is good.
I shouldn't have rapped.
You got a dog.
Hi. Oh, what you got there? All right, go get it. Yeah, good boy.
Tips, I got it first.
When it comes to lasting relationships, we're thinking of every mile. The new Hyundai Tucson. It's your journey.
Next Wednesday on Center Court, the Heat taking on the Celtics. What a matchup that is going to be, 7:30. And that'll be followed by the Blazers and the Lakers from downtown L.A. Coverage begins right here at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV.
Really excited to be here. I'm going to do whatever I can to help this team get the next step.
Upcoming national television schedule. We mentioned the great one doubleheader TNT tomorrow. Ben Simmons taking the floor in Philly for the first time as a member of the Brooklyn Nets. That'll be followed by Lakers Suns. Lakers starting to turn a little bit of a corner, and then ESPN doubleheader Wednesday, Dallas, Boston, Clippers, and Golden State. For more on these games, you can go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Now, all that business aside, let's go to Dennis Scott. Dennis, weigh in on that topic we were talking about.
Well, I think Warriors front office owes it to Dre, Steph, and Clay at 32, 32, and 33 as B.I. to the rim. My goodness, that was nice. But, Grant, you know this. As you get older, you want to have the best supporting cast around your superstars. And right now, we all would agree, Devin Cheeto, we love him, but then banged up a little bit. Moody, who's in the game now, still trying to figure out. So how long does it take these guys to get to that level when we say they're matching what the stars bring?
It's an interesting point. I mean, you think last year, Gary Payton II, talk about Bielitsa, Otto Porter. I mean, all these guys were huge, played big, helped them get through the season, and gave tremendous production in the postseason. But all of them were experienced and brought something to the table. You think back to the strength in numbers teams back in 2015, 2016. Mo Spates and Leandro Barbosa, Livingston, like those teams. Obviously, Andre Iguodala a bit younger at the time. So that depth certainly helps and plays a role. And right now, not there for Golden State. So certainly some decisions may be in store for the future, as you're saying.
Again, Bob Myers has pushed all the right buttons, adding the pieces around their championship core of Steph, Draymond, and Clay.
And it's so hard. I mean, to win in this league, obviously what Steve Kerr and this franchise have done has been unprecedented. But when you have players like that, you want to get as much value out of it. Great offensive rebound put back there by JaMychal Green, but it's so hard to climb that mountain and build that core. You look at this team on the bench, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, that big three. You look at the potential of the big three of New Orleans, Williamson, McCollum.
Zion, beautifully done off the setup by Jones. And Williamson now with 9 points.
And Ingram as well. So it's hard to find those transformational players. And obviously Golden State has still got a little left in the tank with their big three.
Tough left-handed floater by Poole. Ingram running the floor. Jones, Williamson. There's that unselfishness between those three. Jones missed it. And then a loose ball foul, a weak side against Lamb, and a technical. Robert Hussey blowing the whistle. Who's this on?
I think it's on Jordan Poole, who I believe was complaining on the other possession as he went in for a layup. Thought he got fouled. Felt like there was some contact and was barking a bit there. And as you said, called for that technical. Might be a little bit of frustration as well from Jordan Poole, just getting blown out here on the road.
Ingram hits the technical, and look, it hasn't been the start to the season that Jordan Poole was expecting. Signed that big contract extension in October. Of course, everyone knows what happened between him and Draymond Green. But that 4-year extension, $140 million in the middle of October. And it's been an up and down start for Poole, who is just so brilliant for them, especially during their championship run through the playoffs.
Well, you have to also factor in, too, he benefited from the experience around him last year as well. Playing with other guys who had been around and just fitting into what they were trying to accomplish. He might have been one of the biggest beneficiaries as a result. So now, different team with him on that second unit, but still the same consistency from Ingram from downtown.
Brandon Ingram, just incredible to see the improved three-point shooting from him at over 49% from deep on the season. Amazing.
He's shooting better on three-pointers than he is on two-pointers this season, only at 45% on 2-pointers on regular field goals. But Ingram, I think the challenge with him, particularly talking with Willie Green, he's shooting with such great efficiency. They want him to shoot more 3-pointers, and showing why tonight as he's been pretty consistent, 3 for 5 from downtown.
Yeah, it was interesting the last 3 games to see the just stark difference in numbers. Last year, career worst, 32.7 for Ingram from deep. And look at what he has done so far through the first month plus of the season. But just to get back to Grant's point, this is a top 5 3-point shooting team, but 30th in the league in attempts from deep as Graham buries another triple.
And what's interesting is in the first 13 games of this season, as Rollins matches him on a 3-pointer himself for Golden State, but the first 13 games of the year for the Pelicans, they only averaged 16 3-point attempts and 10 makes per game. But the last 3 games, they've got that number up and shooting a better percentage. I think some of that has coincided with Zion Williamson being out, who commands so much attention with his post game. But Willie Green wants more 3-pointers from his ball club. As you said, they shoot so well and efficient from downtown. Just needs them to shoot a little bit more.
Yeah, the way the game is played now, if you're not an elite 3-point shooting team, just not sure that you could be considered a legit contender.
I agree. And first of all, my numbers were off. First 13 games with 27 attempts. The last 3, there's 35 attempts from 3. So they've been consistent on pace now. 25 attempts from the 3-point line, 11 for 25 at 44%. Knocking down those 3-pointers, it gives a lot of space on the interior for Williamson to operate. Like we said earlier, this team they're going to figure it out. It's going to take some time to find that right balance inside-outside, but they have the weapons to get it done.
Yeah, a lot of that was Trey Murphy's 3-point prowess. Murphy is out tonight with a foot injury, as Grant just alluded to as well. Ingram, they're getting those 3s up tonight. Season high for Ingram, 32 points if you've just joined us. He has been lights out. Under 3 minutes to play in the quarter. This is Graham. And the rebound corralled by Moody. Moody fouled on a 3. It's on Daniels here. So Anthony Lamb, who joined Golden State on a 2-way contract, guy who can knock down the 3. And he's going to shoot 3 free throws. There's Trey Murphy, and street close tonight, dealing with that ankle/foot injury.
That in their last game against the Celtics.
Which team will be the first to score 15 points in the Jazz-Clippers game next on NBA TV? Make your picks with NBA Pick'em now for your chance to win. Play free, NBA.com/Pick'em, or on the new NBA app. So great to have you with us on a Monday night for the Big East. Spiro Ditas, Grant Hill, Dennis Scott, rest of our NBA TV crew. It has been all Pelicans, as you might have expected. Golden State team playing without Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Wiggins, and Draymond Green.
And we've talking about the struggles of Golden State this year, and obviously the bench. But what's interesting is that they're 7-1 at home. Their efficiency, they have the second best home defensive efficiency, and the second worst road defensive efficiency. So clearly the comfort level collectively as a group at home on display with those numbers.
There's Najee Marshall, turned back by Lamb. What a defensive recovery in the transition. Lamb at the other end and kick out Kuminga. Passed up with the open three. Rollins loses his footing. Tied up by Daniels. And that just goes back to the old adage, your reserves always play better at home, especially with this young second unit that Steve Kerr has. Have a look at Rollins. Terrific defense from Daniels. And those two are going to jump. Rollins just recalled from Santa Cruz yesterday morning, joined the Warriors here in New Orleans late last night.
Right away, getting some heavy minutes here, just showing you how undermanned this Warriors team is right now.
Oh, you wonder how much longer when you see Brandon Ingram. 34 points for the former Dookie.
Talk about Ingram averaging 21 points a game. Fourth straight season, averaging 20-plus points. Almost knocks down another three. The only player in franchise's history with more 20-point seasons is Anthony Davis, who has 5 of them. And Ingram's so important. And this Pelicans team, you don't really have a traditional point guard. You know, McCollum for many years was sort of a 2-guard, a lead guard, if you will, but they're kind of doing it by committee. McCollum, Ingram, both taking turns being like a primary ball handler. And that strategy has worked well here, at least tonight.
Final 40 seconds of the quarter. This is Ty Jerome. Speaking of point guards, high off the window. Looks like maybe a little bit of a clock discrepancy here. Put about a second back on the clock and 35.4 left in the quarter. Pelicans with possession and a 32-point lead.
And I think Ingram may not play it here in the fourth quarter. It'll be interesting to see what Willie Green does with the lineup here in the fourth quarter with this big lead here.
Five seconds to shoot. Good perimeter defense by the Warriors.
Low clock like this as a player, you love these opportunities. You get the ball, you're putting it up. You don't have time to run a whole lot now with 4.8 seconds on the clock.
Some of those end of bench players getting a chance. Nance gonna fire.
I knew that was coming. You're up 30. You're a big guy. You don't normally take threes. You know what? Low clock. Let me take a contested three just in case it might go in.
Final 6 seconds of the quarter. Jerome against Marshall. Moody won't get it off. That's the kind of night it's been for the defending champs. Brandon Ingram has been sensational. 34 points, a new season high. And the New Orleans Pelicans are blasting Golden State. You are watching Center Court on NBA TV.
It's the Sprite Holiday Special.
We all know that there's cousin magic, there's holiday music magic, then there's that world when it all comes together. So make it loud for this group that's ready to give you a show.
I see y'all forgot how to call somebody.
Nah, just been busy.
You know she busy with the glow up. We see you.
Hey. All right, so here we go, ready?
Joy to the world.
Joy.
Jesus.
What is you doing? I can't use one more member? I mean, I can play cousin.
We got too many already.
All right.
Attention, all Marines and family members who served, lived, or worked at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or any of these serious health issues, you may now qualify for significant financial compensation. A new law gives Marines and family members the opportunity to receive justice for their illnesses caused by toxic water exposure at Camp Lejeune. Call Liberty Legal now. It costs you nothing if you don't win. Call 800-915-0023.
Yeah, here we go.
Here's to going further.
Here's to a little recharge. And this battery lasts for days.
I'm doing something special. Here's to you. Here's to me.
Welcome, everybody, to the Big Podcast with Shaq. My fellas are here with me.
I don't like Shaq. I didn't want him on the podcast.
As a mom, you can't spend money like Shaq's mom can.
You said you were the greatest defender to ever play the game.
That's what you're supposed to say.
If you don't believe that about yourself, who believe in that?
The first woman to grace the cover of 2K22.
I hope that I'm the first, but I'm not the last.
Download new episode of the Big Podcast Weekly.
You guys are the best in the world, and it's a hard job. You know what I'm saying? Roll 5, let's go. JV, good job, getting space, good. Pablo, match up. Point.
Center Court, presented by Google Pixel, continues here from New Orleans as we begin the fourth quarter. Willie Green, Detroit Willie, as he was affectionately nicknamed by our very own Grant Hill. I didn't realize you came up with that nickname for him. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's not totally verified, but as teammates, I would call him that.
Devontae Graham, silky smooth three-point stroke.
And what I love about Detroit Willie is that he's still coaching the game and not coaching the score. Demanding excellence from his team, working the officials, just bringing that stability, big picture perspective. And obviously, he said, look, last year we surprised a lot of people. This year, their expectations on the outside, but internally, their expectations are greater than anyone else's. So, big goals for this franchise and this team. Superior leadership by Mr. Green. Detroit Willie.
What a play, what a maneuver by Daniels. Did you have any inkling playing with him that year in LA that he would coach?
You know, I did. And really that team, a young team with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, a lot of personalities, Matt Barnes, Caron Butler. But you just always knew that he was, when he said something, it always was substance, always had a great integrity about him, was a team guy. And from that team, look, Chauncey Billups, the head coach for Portland. You got Caron Butler on the staff in Miami. Obviously, we all know Chris Paul is kind of like an extension of a coach on the floor. So Willie Green doing a fantastic job here in New Orleans with this team.
And Willie Green, taking those steps to get to this point. We mentioned the 4 years on Kerr's staff, then 2 years as an assistant at Phoenix with Monty Williams. Part of that Western Conference championship team that got to the finals against Milwaukee.
He's been in some really good organizations and good environments. Bringing that with him here to New Orleans. Look, these guys are up big time and still competing on the defensive end. Kuminga knocking down a contested three-pointer, but no let-up on the defensive side for the Pelicans.
Terry, Willie Green said something else that caught my attention. He said, look, there are no banners here. There are no jerseys that have been retired. And he's told this group, we have a chance to really start and build a legacy here that just doesn't exist. It was my first time sitting with Willie Green. You obviously know him really well. It's easy to see why players have so much respect for him as a coach.
This organization is a blank canvas, and they're right now building a culture and a tradition. Exciting time for this ball club. And as you said, Valanciunas once again on the offensive glass with the putback, but his ability to connect with players, both these coaches, Steve Kerr, great communicator, Willie Green. So much of it is X's and O's, but a lot of it is just getting guys to want to play for you, getting guys to believe in what you're teaching.
Jonathan Kuminga with a three-point jack. Looks like Willie's going to start to empty his bench as we are under 9 minutes left. Patrick Baldwin corralling the loose change. Baldwin thought about the three, and he, with a nice finger roll finish right at the cup.
Yeah, and Baldwin can actually play. Nice talent, can really shoot the ball. Showing right there his ability to get to the rim. Young player with a potentially a nice future in this league. He can really shoot it.
Now, Baldwin's got a unique story as Kuminga misses on a corner three. Baldwin, top high school prospect as a junior, then had an injury his senior year in high school, was really garnering attention from all the big programs around the country. Ended up playing for his father as a collegian at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Golden State took a flyer on him. They feel like eventually he could be a piece for them. As meantime, that New Orleans offense just keeps on coming. Devontae Graham on a triple.
And that's 35 three-point attempts for New Orleans. Easy leak out there by Alvarado. Everything clicking here in this fourth quarter, really this entire game for New Orleans. Bringing the effort. Both ends of the floor for the Pelicans.
It's nice to unwind after a long week of telling people how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance. It's natural. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Real-time ticket upgrade? Meaning I get to meet my childhood idol? That works. I need my dog Joey for dog.
When your customer experience works, the world works. That's why the world works with ServiceNow.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic. I used the wrong paint.
Christmas ends tonight.
Violent Night is an instant holiday classic.
If you want war, my guys are the deadliest killers money can buy.
They can't be that great. I mean, I already killed 2 of them.
It's Die Hard meets Home Alone.
I can't thank you enough, Mr.
Claus. But please call me Santa.
Violent Night, rated R.
Introducing the SC 30-day money-back guarantee.
But our Love Your Car guarantee already comes with 30-day returns.
Well, that's ourselves.
I believe it.
Sure.
The NBA on NBA TV is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA, and by DoorDash, the official partner of the NBA. Score one for the neighborhood.
Beautiful 50-degree night here in New Orleans. Center court has rolled into the Big Easy tonight. It's being presented by Google Pixel. What a night for Willie Green's Pelicans. As Green now will start to empty his bench. Garrett Temple, Jackson Hayes, and Billy Hernan Gomez will check into the game. All for the first time tonight. I do want to correct myself. Willie Green, 3 years on Steve Kerr's staff with Golden State. Those back-to-back title teams with Kevin Durant. As we play here with 7 and change left in regulation.
How about that big three? Ooh. Deadly. Wasn't fair.
Hernan Gomez Pelicans keeping it alive, and they build on their lead.
Hey, isn't he the actor? Didn't I see him in the movie?
He looks like he could be a leading man, doesn't he?
What movie was that, 3D?
Hustle,
that's right. Yeah, he was in the movie with Adam Sandler.
Oh, he actually was?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were kidding. Okay.
And our man, Ant-Man from the Minnesota Timberwolves.
That's right.
And, of course, let's give our colleagues some love to Kenny Smith was in that movie as well.
How about that? Kenny showing off the acting chops. Played an agent, right? Played like a slimy agent.
Exactly. Come on, you're the New Yorkers. You know that.
I don't watch many movies. I gotta go watch that now.
Yeah, it's a good movie. A lot of basketball.
Temple to steal. Rollins trying to get back, but Temple, the old KG vet, and Zion and company having a good old time on the bench.
I think the young Garrett Temple would have tried to dunk that.
You've been in a couple of movies, right, over the years?
No, I haven't.
Not even one?
Well, no, I take that back. I was in Men Want with Taraji Henson, yes. Forgot about that. It was
Dennis, you know you're big time when you forget
No,
that you've been in a movie.
You're a Hall of Fame.
I mean, it was an iconic poker moment. Mark Cuban and Brian Bosworth.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun, you know. I played myself. It wasn't too hard.
Critical reviews.
Yeah, very critical.
Hey, Spiro, he's been in a couple TV shows, though.
Oh, man.
Okay. Yeah. So he's been around.
That's a small screen guy.
Back in my former life.
Here comes Kuminga. Transition pass ahead. Rollins. Not that time on the corner three, and the Pelicans will come back the other way.
Say tonight's been a good night for Devontae Graham. 17 points, 6 for 10 from the three-point line. As I said earlier, his numbers and his minutes are down this year, but as Willie Green wants more three-point shooting from this ball club, he has answered that. He's very efficient from downtown.
Wait, just think of how good he was as a collegiate. As Hernan Gomez misses badly on a three. Jackson Hayes to save, but it's taken by Lamb. Kuminga.
Devontae Graham, I mean, willed his Kansas team past my Blue Devils in the Elite Eight to get to the Final Four. There's a guy that kind of flew under the radar with the draft, but came into Charlotte, played very well, and signed down here. And so had a pretty productive season last year, but as I said, numbers down a little bit, minutes down. I think he can play an important role for this team as they try to take that next step.
Yeah, Graham at the beginning of last year really sprinted out of the gates. He averaged almost 18 points through the first 5 games of the season, but then his playing time was cut dramatically, especially after the arrival of C.J. McCollum. And by the end of the year, he was almost completely out of the mix, as Jonathan Kuminga is whistled for the foul. And it looks like Steve Kerr is going to take a timeout. So this one mercifully is nearing an end for Golden State in what has been a nightmare night for them here in New Orleans.
What's his deal?
Oh, him? He just got cash back shopping with Rakuten.
Oh, I know the feeling. Cash back's where it's at. I just never dance in public.
Square on the rocks.
Introducing Tradicional Cristalino.
That is definitely him.
Dude, that's just...
Hi. Mind if I sit?
Okay. When it's Frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new Peppermint Frosty.
Well, the Boston Celtics taking their long winning streak into Chicago tonight. Early stages, fourth quarter. Jason Tatum trying to cut into a 10-point deficit. But just too much Chicago down the stretch. DeRozan with a triple. And the Chicago Bulls trying to put the finishing touches on the Celtics.
It's a doubleheader of division foes ready to square off.
What's next?
KD and the Nets head down road to the city of brotherly love.
Durant with a rejection.
To duel a hard-nosed Sixers squad.
Oh my goodness.
Their Booker and the Suns want to turn up the temp.
Oh, how about that?
Versus LeBron and the Lakers in a blazing Pacific showdown.
Throw it down, LeBron. Okay.
Nets Sixers, Lakers Suns, tomorrow on TNT.
They said we done. Not so fast, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Zion Williamson's health has certainly been the major headline here for the Pelicans over the last 3+ years. Just think of all the games he missed. 58 that first year. Last year, missing the entire year with the broken foot fracture. Already 5 games he's been on the shelf this year. 2 of them, the freak injury, the fall that he had, the bruised pelvic bone. But Zion addressing his training regimen in the offseason. Still doesn't look drastically different physically when you watch him, but they're pleased with the progress he's making. But that's going to be a question that continues to haunt him until he's able to get through a full season, Graham.
I agree. And, unfortunate for him, he's had to go through some stuff. Looks like his conditioning has win. He's not fatigued or tired. He's giving effort on both ends, and he just has to play. He's got to put together consecutive days, weeks, months of health. And once again, another turnover for Golden State. 25 turnovers leading to 26 points for the Pelicans. 28 points.
Zion just 85 games played over his first 3 seasons.
I'm not sure if there's a player in recent times that has come into the league with so much fanfare and so many expectations as a Zion Williamson. And because of those injuries, a lot of people started to forget and even question, can he have the durability right there? Oh, man.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, indeed. I learned from one of the great basketball player turned actors in Mr. Shaquille O'Neal, but that poker scene right there with the Oscar in the middle, that took 2 days to film.
Wow. 2 days?
2 days, yeah.
Who was messing up?
You know what was crazy? I know Shaq says snitches get stitches, but Tracy Morgan, he didn't know any of the lines.
Really?
I was shocked.
Oh, he was calling Tracy out.
Tracy, we're coming to get you.
He was getting paid. We just did it for free. Or at least I did it for free. Maybe Shaq got paid.
Believe that. I don't believe that.
Do that for free. What a finish by Jackson Hayes meantime as we'll get a turnover here. Looked like Kuminga was out of bounds at the sideline.
Oh, man.
But that did look like some high-level acting, even in that still photograph.
Our producer is shady, man. He just sprung that on us there at the last minute. I tell you, go watch that movie. Go watch that scene.
I've already downloaded it.
Okay, good.
On my Amazon Prime. Final $1.50 left in the fourth quarter. Garrett Temple against Kuminga. A little off-balance bank attempt, and then Hernan Gomez is there. Nifty little putback. Here comes Rollins initiating the contact. He turns it over. Graham trying to shovel it to Hayes. And we are down to under 90 seconds left. So Golden State's going to end their 6-game homestand 4-2. And we'll get to 10-7 on the season as they hit the road now for 2 games, Wednesday in San Antonio and then Friday in Memphis. And Golden State, meantime, Grant, is going to fall to 1-9 on the road and 2 games below the 500 mark at 8-10.
Well, The good thing for Golden State on this trip was, one, getting that road win, their first of the season, but getting Klay Thompson going, getting him some confidence. He needed that performance. And historically, you know, he has started slow. He's not someone who comes out of the gate shooting the ball well, even in some of those championship seasons. But the margin of error is so slim right now with Golden State. We need Klay Thompson to be at his best. Certainly getting that great performance helps as he builds his confidence this season. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone who really believes that Klay Thompson is part of the issue or has a fear that he's not going to turn the season around. Question really is going to come down to their second unit. And can this reserve bench for Steve Kerr eventually figure things out? That's the question that they're going to have to answer here over the next few months. Dyson Daniels from deep. Golden State will spend the night here in New Orleans. They'll fly home tomorrow and then play 2 at the Chase Center, where they've been deadly this year. They'll take on the Clippers on Wednesday, and then Friday home for the Utah Jazz. How about the start that the Jazz have been on? One of the surprise teams so far.
Laurie Marketing, I mean,
how he has played. Colin Sexton. Fun to watch the Utah Jazz. Final seconds come off. All Pelicans as they author a demolition tonight of the defending champs, who played severely shorthanded here in New Orleans. Steve Kerr, Willie Green, tight bond between those two. 128-83, your final here in the Big Easy tonight. Yeah, Sparrow, New Orleans did what they were supposed to do against an undermanned team from start to finish, getting the job done and getting the victory. Dennis Scott always hanging out with the big boys as he stands next to Brandon Ingram, who finished with 34 points.
All right, thanks, guys. When you heard the big 3-1 plan for the Warriors, how tough is it for you guys to keep your focus and play like you did tonight?
You know, that's one of those messages where we say worry about ourselves. You know, having Zion back in the lineup, we haven't had much minutes with the starting group, so it was important for us to get back and try to get our execution together for a later game.
Is the NBA on notice when both of you guys are healthy, you're playing well, the way you share the basketball? Trey Murphy Thursday knocking down threes. How good can you guys be?
It can be really good. The defensive end is the big key for us every single night. Trying to be there for each other, trying to stay in front of the basketball, rebound the basketball. As long as we're doing that, I think it doesn't matter who scores on the basketball floor. We have rhythm in our offense, and we can continue to keep going.
When your head coach tells you, when you guys share the basketball and play for one another like you did tonight with the ball movement, how big is that for you guys to go deep this season?
It's big. You know, for everybody to feel comfortable on the basketball floor, you know, we have a lot of weapons, and we got to use them the right way. So three-point shooters on the wings, guys that can play, make them get to the basket. We got people down low, so we got to use them to the best of our abilities.
Keep doing what you do.
Thank you, baby.
All right, there it is, guys. B.I. brought his A game tonight.
All right, 3D, great stuff. Just tantalizing prospects for this New Orleans Pelicans team. How far they can potentially go with this trio and this burgeoning team that they are developing here in the Big Easy. 34 for Brandon Ingram as they celebrate the return of Zion Williamson and get their 10th win of the season. 128-83, your final. Join us again next Wednesday as Center Court will roll into Los Angeles. First game of the night will have the Celtics, followed by the Blazers and the Lakers. But coming up next here on NBA TV, it's the Jazz and the Clippers. Now for Grant Dennis, rest of our NBA TV crew, Spiro Dean is saying goodnight from New Orleans.
My active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. Now, Skyrizi helps me get going by treating my skin and joints. Along with significantly clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Skyrizi attaches to and reduces a source of excess inflammation that can lead to skin and joint symptoms. With Skyrizi, 90% clearer skin and less joint pain is possible.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like the feeling of improving my skin and joints. And that means everything. Now's the time to talk to your doctor about how Skyrizi can help treat your psoriatic arthritis so you can get going. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
The future is threatened by enemies often unseen and unexpected. In the midst of an uncertain and evolving world, the need for Marines to defeat these shifting threats is critical because the need to ensure stability for our nation has never been greater. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
And what if I want to change my plan? State Farm's here to help. What if I want to change sports?
Newcomer Chris Paul is maintaining a narrow lead in these final meters. But here comes an opponent closing the gap, 1 foot in front of the other. They are battling it out. And Chris Paul edges ahead. Those are the hips of a champion.
At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs. Get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hope you're enjoying center court so far tonight. Kawhi Leonard playing in his 5th game of the season against the Utah Jazz, team with the best record out west. That game tips off at 10:30 or a little bit after right here on NBA TV. It's the second part of our doubleheader. Welcome back to our studios here in Atlanta. Chris Miles here with Jay Crossover and Zeke. And you said it. You even asked CJ McCollum this before the game, like, okay, Warriors, you going to sit Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Andrew Wiggins for the second time you come in our house? All right. Pelicans replied with the largest blowout in the NBA this season, 45 points. Exactly how you kind of saw that going.
And they did exactly what they should have done. I mean, when a team comes to your building and they sit their starters expecting you to have a letdown, you don't have a letdown. I thought the Pelicans, played the right way, did the right thing. And then they put a whooping on them the way they should have to let them know next time you come in our building, you better bring your A game.